All right, this is Long Cool Woman by the Hollies. This is going to have that cool intro. Okay, so the first thing we have is open E. And then we're going to hammer onto the A string, open to 2, and then go down to the D string, open. Now we have the 5th fret of the D string, and then the G string, open. So after we did the boom, D, then we're going to go 4, open, open there from that D string down. 2, open, 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 D to G string, and then 2 to open on the 5th string to the 4th string. So now we got big strings. We've got 3, 2, open, 2, open, open, 3, 2, open, 5, open, open, 3, 2. So we got. Okay, so that whole thing goes 2 times, and then we're going to get into this E power chord. So what's happening there is we got 2, 4, 5, 4, 2. So those 2s there on the kind of like the 5th and 4th string are part of that E chord. They come in as the last, just before the new beat of the new measure, and then nothing actually hits on the 1 of that new measure, and you hit on the upbeat of that. So it's like and. So we got. So you do that like 4 times, then we're gonna have a new riff. So it starts with 6, 6, 7, 9, 7, ba-dum, bum. Now in that second measure, you're gonna hammer in from that 5. So you got. Okay, and that goes with the. Okay, so when we start doing that riff after the 4 times of that intro thing, we're going to start out, we're going to do it 6 times. And if you get used to listening to it enough, you'll hear kind of like where the vocal waits a minute. Sometimes it goes a little longer. A lot of these are like 3 times each, but sometimes if he waits a second to set up a new verse, it'll be like 4 times. Sometimes when it's about to change, it'll only be 2 times. So I'm going to tell you on each of these how many times it goes, and then we're going to have these chords. So G power chord to A power chord. Bum, ba-da, bum, ba-da. We're going to go back into that riff like each time. So a lot of back and forth on those. So we're going to start out with the 6 times of this riff. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, 5, 6 chords. 3 times. Here we go. 4 times. Here we go. 3 times. Here we go. 2 times. So after the 2 times, when we're going to go into this kind of honky-tonk chord thing on the A. Now up to B. 3 times on the B. Down to A. Again A. G. And then we got the E. Kind of like our beginning thing there. And then we got A twice. G. kind of hitting the 2 and the 1 from this E chord here. All we're going to have the hammer on the A to the open D there a couple times. So we do that like 4 times, like 8 bars. So it ends up being, let's go from the whole last 2 times of the riff thing into these chords. A chord, B, back to A, G, E, A, twice, G. So you can kind of start with with the open and the 1 here. So 4 times intro, riff, 6 times, 3, 4, 5, 6, here we go, G, 3 times, here we go, 3 times, here we go, 4 times, here we go, 2 times, G, A, 2 more, G, E, 2 A's, G, intro, riff. And it just does this a whole ton of times at the end, like 16 times, something like that. So let's go through everything again. We got our intro. Of this. We got our riff. Here we go. G to the A. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. To the A. B3. Back to A twice. G. E. 2 A's. G, new riff. Intro, first riff. Okay, so it's just a series of, and just counting how long it takes to get to those. And then when that last one is done, instead of A, we're going G. A. 2 more. G. E. A twice. G. The early riff. And then you got the. All right, long, cool woman in a black dress. Or as Jeff Buckley said, hot black woman in a cool dress, something like that. He would pop out and he would go, KF3 radio with the the best classic rocks. Something like that. Thanks for watching my guitar lessons, y'all. We'll see you soon. Hey folks, this is going to be Tom Sawyer by Rush. We're going to start out with a low E note. It's going to hold for 4 bars, gets things going, gets the verse going. And then we have this first chord bit. So we have bum, 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 and then chord. That chord is the E major chord, 7, 9, 9, 9, muting the bottom string. Now our next chord, this is going to be a D sus2. So this is 5, 7, 7 like a power chord, but then bar these other 5s because we really want that 2 note. That's the E note on the 2nd string, 5th fret. So we got. Now here we have like a A chord, A power chord, but with 2 3s down here. So it's like a A7 sus4. So we got. And that's a C sus2, just like this A was. So it's 3 5 5 3 3. And that 3 on the 2nd string is our 2 there. That's important. So one more time in this. We do it again for the vocal. And then we have this little descending thing. It's going to go C, B, A, C, B, A. We're going to do these chords on top. So it's like a G chord with the open 3, 3. And we move to the B bass with that same top, but we're muting the D string. So we have 3 in the A, and then muting the D, and then open 3, 3. And we're just moving the bass to the 2. And then we're going to go to this A7 sus. So open on the A string, but 2 on the D string, with still the open 3, 3. So we have moving bass, and then this one actually moves its first finger up too. And we do that little riff twice. So let's look at what we have so far. So we do that twice, and then we're going to follow that with the. And then we go back to the chords with a little more strumming going on. So okay, so this one kind of walks down 3 2 open, and then to a G with a 3 in the bass, F sharp in the bass, kind of muting that A string. Kind of go into an E note there. Okay, so that last part would be. Now instead of going to the C chord on this one, you go straight into the G, F sharp, E, and then we get into the riff. Okay, so let's take a look at that. So there's a couple ways you could do this. It goes really fast, so you could cut out a couple of these notes. So instead of going dum 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 dum, like 1 2 3 1 2 3, you could go 1 and not hit the 2. Okay, so that's kind of the easier way. So the full way would be open E and then 2 on the D string to 4 on the G string. And then you go to the F sharp bass and you bar it and you still hit the same 2 4s. We're going to go to that G bass then and still hit those same 2 4s. So we got 0 2 4 2 2, 4, open on the big one, 3, 2, 4, open on the A, so we got go back to that A note, and then we'd have a 2, 4, and then 3, 2, 4, O, 2, so we have a B note there with the 2, 4, and then open A, 2, 4, to that 3, so now, the more simple way would be not to do all 3 of those first notes. You kind of alternate where you do 3 notes and where you don't do 3 notes. It'd be like, so I would wait a second and hit that 4 there without that 2. And then do those 3 notes and then don't do those 3. So see how you alternate? And you wouldn't have any 3-note things on the way out. So that would be the simple way. Whereas the more fancy way, where you have to pick a little bit faster, so the only one you don't do like a 3-note thing is the, because it doesn't have a 3rd note to kind of go to, that 2 right there on the D string. And at the end of that, so we hit that A power chord into the B power chord, and then B again. Then we're going to go A power chord, G power chord, B, little strumming, and then A to the G, A, big E, and the E major chord there. Okay, then at that point, when we get back to that, then we're going to have 4 bars, and he starts singing again. Then we have this high kind of keyboard synthesizer riff. So that's going to be 14 on the G string to 16 on the D, and then 13 and 14, and then 11 and 12. Then the second time kind of holds that first note longer, so it's, so that one switches to 12th fret on the D and 14th on the A. So okay, then after a few times of that, the guitar is going to go. So that's like an E power chord, O, 2, 2, O, 2, 4, 4, to an F sharp power chord. So first we have. Okay, so those, they do that over each other the next 4 times there. Then we're going to have, so we have the guitar coming in 7 to 9, D to A strings, 6, 7, 4, 5. So, and then 7, 9, 6, 7, 5 on the A to 7 on the B. So it's the same type of thing that was happening in the other riff. That time, so it does it twice. The second one has a lower thing. Do it again. Now when you go that one down, you take it all the way down to the low E. Then we're going to start the solo. 1, 4, and 7 on the G, and then. So this is 9 and 7 on the B. 10, 9, hammer on pull off. 3 to 5. So we got. Holds that E for a little bit before it gets started. And then we go. So that's 10, 9, 10, and 12. Then you go big 5, 7, and then 5 on the A. So altogether we got. So this has a little half step bend on that 5. 3 to 2 pull off. Then you have something like a. So this is something to do with this little scale here. Kind of goes to that 2 note. He's got real pinch harmonics. Which you're gonna end with 3, 3, 2, 4, 2, 3, 5. Then you're up here in the 16 and 19 on the G string. So some kind of little pull off. He does some little tricks up there, but that's the notes you're dealing with. 16 and 19. Then you have the 16, 19 in back. 17 to 18. Some kind of little pull off thing. And then you go back to that 17 to 18 to wrap that off. And then you go. So you got 19 on the D, then 16 and 19 on the G. Bend that one out, and then you got 17 down here in the B. You got a couple 17s. You go up to the 21 and give it a little half step bend. And you got. So that's 16, 17, 19. Kind of a back and forth thing there a few times. Then you're bending that 19. And then we come back. So that's our same riff, 7 to 9, 6, 7, 4, 5, and then to the lower thing, 5, 7, and then 4, 5, 5, and then we got 5, 7, 5, 7. Back into our rhythm. Going to the C. Then we got a verse coming in. Then we got that CBA twice. Then we got the chords. More choppy. Then we got. So we got the C, B, A, G, F sharp, E. Then we got our big riff. So that riff is going to go like 4 times again, and then we're going to have. So 2 A's, so it's going to be. So A, B, real strong. And then the B starts out that chorus, and then the A to G. Back to B. A, G, back to A. E to the E major. And then there's 5 bars that time because he throws in some extra cool lyrics. And then we're going to go into a. So that's our same thing. The E power chord to the F sharp power chord. Now the high synthesizer riff starts coming back. So it's like. Then the next one goes. And then instead of just going down to that lower E note, it's going to go pull off 13 to 11 to that 9. And then the last one's going to go here to the octave. So that's 17 to 19 on the second string, 16, 17, 14, 15, 17. So we got. that's how we fade out. So Tom Sawyer by Rush, great guitar playing by Alex Lifeson, great writing by all these guys, amazing stuff. One of my favorite songs. I think I was in about 6th grade when I started hearing this. So anyway, Tom Sawyer, Rush, thanks for watching, y'all. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know if you have any comments, suggestions, requests. Let me know in the comments section where you guys are watching from. It's always interesting to hear. So you guys have a great day. Thanks a lot. There will be some tabs with this as well. Thanks for watching Damon with Guitar Lessons. See you soon. All right, I got some more Eric Clapton and Cream for you today. We got Sunshine of Your Love. It's going to start out with this riff here on the D string, 12, 12, 10, 12. And then we're going to jump to the A string, 12, 11, 10. And then we're going to go big string, 10, 8 on the A, back to 10 on the big one. So we got... So we do that twice, and then we're going to come in with chords here. So this is 12 on the A, 12 on the D, 11 on the G, part of a D major chord. We're going to go. So we go down 2 frets to the 10, 10, and 9, and back up. So it's going D to C to D. So, and then the riff. Now here we're going to get away from that lower thing. We're going to come to a higher thing. So that's like the D and G string 12s. To the 10 with some vibrato on the G string there, back to the 12 and the D. And sometimes I'll just go like the D note to the F note and back. So sometimes it's a chord, and sometimes it's just like a... Okay, so another thing is sometimes he'll just drop back and go back to those every now and again. So you can kind of mix it up, doesn't really matter. I'm sure he kind of like did whatever he felt at the time. Okay, so we do 2 of those after the 2 of the... So that's 4 total. Then we're going to do 4 more of this with these chords for the verse. And then we're going to move down to the G chord. So that's going to be 12s on the D, G, and B strings to the 10s on the same strings in the back. So it's G, G, F, G is what's happening there. Now we're going to be on the D string for our descending riff. 12, 11, 10. That's 10 on the A to 8 on the D and back. So we're going to do this G thing 2 times. Back to the other one. Now we're going to go to an A7. So that's 5, 7, 5, 6, 5, 5. We're going to go bum, ba, bum. And then we're going to go to a C power chord, to a big G. A7 again. You can do a C major. So it's 3 times of that. Then we're gonna go dum da 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 dum. So that's 2 bars of like 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. It's like a triplet with the middle one missing. 1 and a 2, a 3, a 4, a 2, a 3, a 4. So it ends up being. And then we're getting to the next pre-verse. That could be one where you go low because it's not into the verse yet. Okay, that sets up the verse. Then we got 4 of them. Down to the G. And back. So So you see that pattern? So it's always 4 once a verse starts on this D to C to D thing, and then you go to the G to F to G thing twice, and then you're back to the D, C, D twice. So we got, let's do these last 2. And then we're down to that A7. 3, 4. So you wait 2 beats there. 3, 4. This is the 3rd time, and then chords. Now we got the solo. So let's see what we got so far. We got 2 bends on this 12th fret of the G string. Hold that, little vibrato. And then we're going to have a not bent note, then a bent note, and then a 12th fret underneath that. So once again. So once we do the bum bum dee, and we go bum 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 bum, and then we're going to do 9th fret, little half step. So that was a little half step bend to the 7 9 7. So we got. So we got that da da dee da, and then we're gonna have a 10 underneath. We're gonna bend that 9 away from the 10 and then end up on the 7. So we have double hammer on there. 7 9 on the D, 7 9 on the G. We got 3 of those things. The last one kind of comes down as well as up. Okay, so once again. They're going to bend this 10 way up. So, bam, 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 bam. So it's like 4 bends, kind of slow. And it's a little bit more than a step. It's almost like a step and a half bend. And it ends with bend, not bent, and then up, and then you go 10 to 7. So that's 10 7. Half step bend here in the 9. And that's 9 on the D to the 7 on the G. Then we're going to have a 7 9, 7 9 7 9. Got to do that again. So we got a bend on this 9 like a half step. Then we have like a whole step bend on that 10. Back to the 9. So. So that was da-dee, da-dee-ya. Then we're going to go. We're going to slide into the 14 and the 13. So we got. We're going to take that 14 back down to the 10. So down to 12 and then 10. So do, da, 12, 12. So boom, 12, 10, 12. Hammer into that 11, hold it a little bit. Then we have a little 10 right here. So we got little 10, bend on that 10 with the first finger. So we bent the 12 up. We got that, then we got 13 underneath it. So we got the, so it's a bend up and then a down, one of those things. And then you go. So bending up to the 13 again, down to the 10. So we got. And then we're gonna go. So that is bending the 12, 10, 10 on the next two strings. That's a bend up and down and a pull off. 12 on the D. That's a little bend on that 10 on the G. 12, 12 going up the strings there. So we got. So we got double hammer, and that's when you got to get really tall. It's kind of a Hendrix kind of thing. So it's hammering 10 to 12 on the A, but you're also hearing the 10th fret of the D string. Does it twice, and then you go down a string. And then you got like 10s and 12s here. We're going to slide into the 14 on the G to the 13. So we got from the hammers. So we got a 12 into 14 to the 13. So, and then, so that's kind of slow. And then faster notes. Do, da, da, dee, da, do. So 14, 13, 13, 15, 13. Sliding that down. So 10, pull off to the A string, down to that D. So the whole solo. Then we got those 10 bends, kind of extra. Then we got that little 10. Then we got those double hammers. Okay, then we're back to. And you're going to have that last verse, so 4 times. Down to the G. Times. A7. You just take those chords and it fades out. All right, so excellent solo, great song by Cream, Ginger Baker on the drums, you got Eric Clapton on the guitar, you got Jack Bruce on the bass and lead vocals. Clapton does a little vocals later on in the tune. So thanks for watching Damon Wood Guitar Lessons. We shall see you soon. Please like and subscribe. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know what you want to hear next. Thanks a lot. We'll see you soon.